It is indeed the first Wednesday of October, and this is the first also Wednesday that we bring to you the Morning Glory Show, specifically bringing to you the healthy, wealthy, wise segment. And today we're just talking about everything that pertains and concerns your health. And being an introduction of this particular segment, today we may not dig deep into maybe any condition or any health much into a lot of health details, but rather just trying to introduce the segment. But then before we go on, I need to tell you that this show is brought to you courtesy of Dawi Afrique Photography. Just to mention is that Dawi Afrique Photography is found in Eldoret. It is a production house that is located at Zion Mall, basement A. And so if you need anything that goes into production, you need anything that goes into photography, anything that goes into videography, then you should consider talking to Dawi Afrique Photography. Dawi Afrique Photography has been in this industry for quite some time, and so I'm sure they'll give you some nice work. And just to mention, I know currently we have a lot of people who are taking passports to apply for the DV American lottery. So if you're going to apply for this for that program, this is the right place to take your passport, because I know that the Americans are usually very particular with what they want, and so it is important to mention that you can come to Dawi Afrique Photography anytime you need those particular kinds of maybe passports. But then before we go far, I would just want to say that I have with us our guest today. His name is Collins. Collins is a nurse. Maybe I'll give him a chance to introduce himself because and tell us much more about himself. So Collins, maybe tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Good morning, viewers. My name is Collins Chichi. I'm a practicing nurse. I come from Wakilisho High School here. I went to medical training college in Eldoret. I did Kenya Registered Community Health Nursing. That's the largest specialty in mental health and psychiatry, reproductive health, specifically midwifery. I know that's very interesting. Yeah. Anything to do with reproduction, I mean midwifery, things like begin, something I like doing. Also, we have a section of the community health nursing and general nursing in specific.
And you know, midwifery for men, especially kitambo, it was expected that midwifery would be a job that belongs to all women, and it is a women's career.
Yeah, true. Even in the Bible, I think the first midwife was a lady, and it was a noble. I can call it occupation, it's not a profession. But later, things changed. You know, the mother of nursing, that's Florence Nightingale, introduced the models of nursing that accommodated men. Even now at work there, when you tell somebody I'm a nurse and he sees you as a man, atajiuliza, hey,
kuna shida
yeah, kuna shida.
But then I think over time people are starting to accept that also men can get into nursing and do it perfectly.
Yeah. Okay. So for example, working in a hospital environment, you can get a doctor or a consultant who's a lady, but hapo mbeleni, nursing was considered a profession for ladies, and then maybe doctors for men. Me personally, najua mnanitanga daktari, lakini the right term, in fact I want to give you the best name. My name is Aren, registered nurse.
Aren.
Yeah,
okay.
Aren is the best.
So from today, we shall be referring to you to
that's a very big profession, and big shoes for me, yeah.
Okay, and so because you've mentioned it, but then maybe before you go there, just to thank those who are already viewing, those who are already watching us. Thank you so much for watching this particular show. Kindly leave us a comment, tell us how are you getting the feed, is the sound okay? At some point I will be reading your comments, and so just be ready, be prepared to engage with us. Collins will be tackling some very, very, very interesting topics about health. And as I've said today, we're not getting deep into maybe any particulars. We're just learning how our hospital works, who are these people. And so as I was saying, many people don't understand, first of all, the different professions within the medical, with the different medical practitioners. So maybe just tell us what is the difference between a nurse, a doctor, maybe a consultant, and all that.
Kalia, we have several cadres in the medical field. We have the consultants. The consultant, there's a person who can diagnose and treat. But in a very specific specialty, we have consultant pediatrician, we have consultant orthopedics, we have consultants of every field, any disease that has to do with maybe a certain organ. We have the those people who've specialized deep. We have the medical doctors. Those are persons who are trained with professional skills to diagnose and treat only. Then we have nurses. Nurses are from the word nursing. That is maybe to give care and to give care. That's the best term. Nursing, implementing what the doctor says. In fact, us sisi ni watu wa mkono wa daktari.
Oh, so nyinyi watu wa mkono wa daktari.
Wa daktari, we implement what they say. But if you find okay, I can say our nursing profession kidogo, let me guzia kidogo there. Our nursing profession kidogo is much limited. What we practice and what the doctors practice, totally different. Kazi yao, they diagnose, they treat, and then they give us instructions. Kazi yetu, we just walk from there. The scope is very limited, okay. Maybe? We're the ones who are with the patients 24/7. Yeah, but when it comes to maybe the organogram of the medical professions, I mean of the medics, you find that nurses do little work. They normally say dirty work because we are the patient. Then we have the laboratory technicians. The laboratory technicians are those kind of profession where in medical field they take the samples and maybe give us the SARS of the analysis and interpretation. We also have the sonographers or the radiographers. Those they deal with maybe imaging, CT scans, the X-rays, the MRI, magnetic resonance imaging. That is the specialty. Anything to do with pictures. Sometimes maybe we need an abdominal CT scan or maybe an X-ray of a certain organ or maybe a certain part of the body so that we can plan the care of the patient. Yeah, and again we also have nutritionists. Nutrition is a very critical aspect of care or maybe giving medical attention. Wanasemanga chakula ni dawa. For example, the person who eats, mtu mwenye anakula, hiyo ni dawa ya kwanza. Yeah.
Then so kama mtu anakula, that means okay, this one ako mbele wengine kidogo.
Ako sawa. Because when you find somebody who's sick and he doesn't eat, you can imagine.
Serious.
Hiyo ni ugonjwa mara mbili. Yeah. And then we have the social workers in an hospital. They act as a link between the hospital and the patient. Yeah.
Okay. Ndio maana ukiongea na Bill unakwambia enda social work.
Enda social work. Enda ongea na mtu wa social work.
So ni mtu anaweza kumbeleza kidogo.
Kwa marafiki na watu. They can help you.
People decide whether utatoka ama utatoka. Wakati imekataa.
Imekataa.
Okay. And also people don't understand. Okay, maybe this is also something that I've seen so many people asking questions about. I think somebody sent in a question that we need to also ask this. We have a dispensary. There is a healthcare. There is a hospital. A referral hospital. I don't know, a level 1, level 2, level 3. What are these things?
Before we get there, I forgot about the pharmacies. I want to engineer hospitali. Kama wako dispensing my drugs, even when they're doing a ward round, there must be pharmacists. Pharmacists, those are great people in hospital. We have also the orthopedics, lakini hizo zimeanza kuwa specialty. But maybe, sasa for example, as you have a proficiency, maybe knowledge or maybe a background knowledge about how to take care of patients with different ailments. Okay. Yeah, according to levels of healthcare delivery system, we have level 1, that is at the community level. Then we have the health and dispensaries. I mean the health centers and dispensaries. Those fall at level 2. Then we have the district hospitals. They fall at level 3. Lakini siku hizi imechange kidogo. Yeah. Then we have the level 4. That is the county hospitals. Then level 5 we have the county referral hospitals. Alafu level 6 sasa ni zile national kama Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital. Level 5 ni hospitali kama county referral kama we have another hospital in Machakos known as county referral. I don't know Jaramogi, it's still I think they're trying to upgrade it, like because general hospital they fall under level 5, but when you see the kind of service they offer, at least I can say all under one roof. That's what I can say. Yeah. So that's now the levels. We now operate in tiers: level 1, level 2, level 3, and level 4. Level 6 ni final. For example, Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital. I know many people don't know. Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital is the second largest hospital in Kenya, public hospital. I won't talk about it. KNH. So MTRH and KNH do referrals. KNH wanaweza sema go back to Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital, and MTRH can say go back to Kenyatta National Hospital ya KNH. Yeah.
So that means ukishapelekwa referral, ikikataa imekataa.
Imekataa. Hapana. Basically, about healthcare system, or maybe providing care of the patient. We have about the specialists I told you about. If you don't find a doctor, maybe who's working at the hospital, you want to. I mean, for example, you want to be served at MTRH. Alafu ambi daktari yuko wapi? Yuko KNH. You'll have to maybe if the doctor doesn't have sessions here, you can as well join there. But we always provide optimum care with that ile matamanio that the patient will be well. That's our call.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is the call? You say
Yeah,
you provide what?
Providing holistic care.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll need to move your mic a little bit, child.
Oh yeah, sure.
I think because okay. My next question then. This is quite interesting because so that means that also at these levels of providing care, then maybe you may not expect to see a doctor at a community level, right?
Yeah.
So then how does it move? Because unajua sisi tunajuanga wote nyinyi ni madaktari.
I know.
Nyinyi wote ni daktari bwana.
Concerning that, you won't find a doctor or maybe a consultant in the level 1, that is the community level, but you have the clinician. A clinician, I think it is 1 clinician against 7 nurses. Something like that, I'm not sure about it. Lakini providing the care, maybe it's in a community level, you know the ailments we tackle, or maybe the diseases we treat at the community level, sidhani kama inaweza taka that attention. But when they come to the hospital with serious diseases or maybe infirmity, we normally refer them. That's now where the doctors and maybe your level of practice or maybe where you work now defines maybe the kind of the diseases you're tackling. For example, we have the top 10 diseases back there at the community level. We have we have the diseases we tackle but honestly, huko nyumbani ni accidents, the infections. Yeah, so we don't have the doctors there. But when you come to maybe from the county referral hospitals, the district hospitals, yeah, back at the referral hospitals, that's now where you get the consultants. Yeah, that's where you get the doctors. Because, they are overwhelmed because of the work. I mean, a lot of work is going on here. Yeah.
Okay, I think you're liking this. I hope you're liking this. I keep commenting down there. I hope you now understand the difference between a doctor and a nurse and a nutritionist and a consultant. What is a level 1 hospital? What is a level 2 hospital? Quite clearly explained by our guest, Bwana Collins Kipchirchir. And just to remind you is that this show is brought to you courtesy of Dawi Africa Photography and Very Nice Media. Very Nice Media is it is an events company that gives you the services of entertainment and event planning. And so anytime you have any needs that go into events and event planning, consider talking to a Very Nice Media. Just to move on and maybe ask you then, I think we've defined what maybe we've defined the different health facilities, and we've also talked about the different health practitioners. Then maybe my next question should be then, who is a healthy person?
Basically, when I tell you about a health person, hata mi mwenyewe when I'm unhealthy or maybe when I'm sick, kuna tu venye unasikia. So it's just a complete state of physical, social, and mental well-being.
I think we need to repeat that. That is, you said, okay, I'll say after you. You said
it is a complete state of physical, mental, and social well-being of an individual. Maybe without the absence of disease or infirmity. You can easily note when your body is functioning. I mean, away from the normal. Any deviation from the normal. There's a way. Kuna venye our bodies. There's a way our bodies function well. So when you notice any deviation from the normal, I can say you're sick.
Okay, you can say you're sick.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically that means that any time unasikia mwili haiko poa, ama unasikia labda okay, you mentioned also the mental aspect of it, right? Then there is also the social aspect of it. Yeah. So when do we say maybe somebody is socially unwell? When do we say somebody is maybe physically unwell?
Yeah. For example, physically unwell, maybe you can check on the posture, how somebody walks, how somebody sits, how somebody conducts himself, how somebody carries the active daily duties of living. you can easily tell this person is not okay. Yeah, I saw somebody, a friend of mine, is called Kemboi Kimurugul Koech. He once talked about Kibaki when he used to inspect the Guard of Honor. He said there was something. Kuna kitu aliona, it was not normal from the other presidents. And it's true. Yeah, so that's how we diagnose. You see somebody and you say, hey, this person is not okay.
So
and it's so funny.
Tukitembea hivi unatuangalia sema okay, unaweza tu diagnose tukitembea.
Funny thing about our profession, even if I go to the grocery, pale kwa mama mboga, you find yourself diagnosing people. I don't msiniogope tukikutana pale, but you just maybe again to do with to define how a sick person and maybe an health person is. The right mood when it talks about mental, that brings in depression. Even it also zeroes into the social whatever, the social health you talked about. Yeah, the social being. I think to mention a few, we are good. We are good with that. Yeah.
So that means that you can be physically well, but then not mentally well, or maybe physically well, but then not socially well.
Yeah, or again to do with maybe weight, the right temperature, all those stuff. Yeah, maybe when you get an accident. Okay, you can easily notice when you have a deviation from the normal. Yeah, as human beings, we're very sensitive. Yeah.
And the topic today for this particular show is investing in your health. As somebody says, investing in your health. And maybe just take us through what it means when we say that somebody or one should be investing in their health.
We should actually invest in our health. It's very cheap to treat than to cure. And investing in your health again, in a common setup, maybe in the society pale, when somebody is sick, it paralyzes almost everything. The economic aspect, the spiritual aspect. Yeah, a lot of things normally, I can say, bungle when somebody has failing health. So the importance of maintaining a health lifestyle or maybe keeping health or investing in our health is that it will allow us to carry on with our lives well. And as I've said, for example, it's affordable to cure than to prevent than to cure. Yeah. So investing in your health literally means being accountable of your health, doing things that that makes you feel okay, or maybe I can say, how can I define that? Being healthy.
Just making
many
sure
understand. Our people, the literacy levels are going up. When I tell people you keep healthy, he understands what we're talking about. Maybe next time when we're doing about the conditions or maybe other stuff, we're going to dig into a condition, the management, how to prevent it.
Okay.
It will be very elaborate.
Okay, so that means management is different from one condition to
another. Yeah, and
okay,
we have multifaceted approaches to different conditions.
Okay.
Yeah, and how to manage. Yeah. So,
and maybe we may not talk about them today, but then what are some of these very common conditions in hospitals, especially within this region?
Working in different specialties in an hospital setup, we get different conditions. For example, working in maternity, you can get things like breech presentation, where when a kid is born, kitu nafaa kuambia kichwa huwa inatangulia. But when the legs come out fast, or maybe we have conditions like shoulder dystocia, where let's say, I will not use very complex terms. Mkono ingine inatoka, ingine inabaki ndani. We have something known as shoulder dystocia. We have postpartum hemorrhage, and it can lead to maternal death. But I'm glad, since the introduction of the Beyond Zero campaigns, we get very negligible number of maternal deaths. And there's nothing, it's a very ugly situation, by the way. Losing a mother or maybe a baby, mother and baby, maternity, it's not a good thing. Working in a specialty like, for example, the surgical specialty, we get conditions that are very common. We have hernias, kuna vitu kama benign prostate hypertrophy. We have things like appendicitis. Yeah, working in the orthopedics, they're purely, not even purely, let me say, road traffic accidents, maybe concussions. Yeah, you know, they get fractures. That now brings the aspect of the orthopedic care. Again, working at, let's say, in medical wards, you know, they're divided. Working in a medical ward, you get the TB, malaria, the meningitis, and all those stuff. And also, squeezy, our healthcare is so divided. Sometimes we have the comprehensive care clinics where we provide the care of TB, HIV and AIDS, the lifestyle diseases like the diabetes and hypertension. And by the way, hypertension is a serious killer disease right now. It's something we live with. You know, people are walking outside here with dangerously high blood pressures, but no one knows that we are having a blood pressure. So I can actually recommend that, if possible, let someone get in touch, or maybe be akuwe karibu na hiyo machine ya kupima blood pressure, because you don't know the day it will strike. Na uoni ikikuja, you know, our lifestyle now, the disease, I mean the food we eat and everything, how we conduct ourselves, stress and what, blood pressure iko juu.
And so, going towards that direction, I think you're almost predicting my next question, is that now I may not be sick, right? I may not be sick, but then how do I maybe, what are some of these practices that day in, day out, I should do? Maybe nafaa nipime pressure after how long, hata kasi mimi si mgonjwa, how long should I go for maybe cancer checks? How often should I do these things?
The regular checkups. For example, if I start with the dental care, it's something you should do. You know, this is Kenya. Our healthcare system, you won't compare with the Western countries. Yeah, so I can say, if you're having a dental problem, maybe you can do a checkup after every 6 months. Lakini kama uko sawa, you can do it once yearly. I talked about deworming. It's another aspect, by the way. When was the last time ulikula dawa ya minyoo?
Okay, at least last week.
I talked about it many people.
By mistake, actually.
Actually, someone should take dawa ya minyoo at least 3 months or maybe 6 months. Inategemea. But they are normally, kama ni wewe mtu unakula huku nje sana, it's advisable you do it as ikiwezekana ni 3 months. Yeah. Kitu kama optical care, maneno ya macho, you can do it once yearly. Yeah, you can do it once yearly. Checkups, for example, cervical cancer, for example, in women, screening and everything, you can do it once after every year, and it's always available for, I can say, reproductive age, from 21 years kwenda mbele. Somebody who's actually active maybe can do that. And I like, excuse it, tumepewa the HPV vaccine. I'll come and talk about it maybe next time. It's available for sexually active girls from 9 years kwenda mbele. I heard something, or I read something, the HPV is not available for people who have engaged in sex. Yani kama ushai kuwa in that hard. Yeah.
So that means kama ushajaribu, wachana na story.
Chana na hiyo story.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's available in hospitals. Any hospital.
You've mentioned quite a number of maybe tests that even if you feel you are well, somebody should just check into a hospital and maybe get tested for it. We live in a country where we say health is free, but then it's not that free. Maybe how expensive or how cheap are these common maybe tests?
Your health is very expensive. That's what you need to know. That now brings in the aspect of the institutions that normally cushions the patient from exorbitant prices or maybe expensive health care. Getting health care, I mean service from an institution, a medical institution, is not that cheap and it's not expensive. Hauwezi kuwa mgonjwa kila siku. So mimi I can recommend that usianze tu useme I'm sick, direct uende place kama Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital. You can start with the community level. Ukuje dispensary umalizane na we have I like Eldoret. I think a good investment is healthcare. I don't know why. You find a lot of private hospitals than the public hospital. You can get care out, from answer to antaya chini ukikuja juu. Lakini if something serious that needs maybe an emergency or maybe something that needs to be checked in mbio unaweza shoot kuja huko mbele. But the reason of organizing the organogram of service delivery from the level 1 ni wewe uanze chini ukienda mbele referrals. When they diagnose you in the these people up to proficiency skills ni watu wamesoma. Wakiona hii condition ni ngori, they are going wanaisukuma juu. So it's actually advised uanze chini ukienda juu. Yeah.
And okay, now this is a big question, but then before I ask it, okay, I hope you're enjoying the show. I hope you're getting informed. I hope that everyone who is watching us is enjoying this particular show. Leave us a comment. In a few minutes, I will be looking at some of your comments. But then before we go far, just to remind you is that the Morning Glory show will be coming to you every 7:30 to 9 a.m. And just to mention this is that I'm sorry. Okay, maybe just to mention this is that to say the Morning Glory is a product of Very Nice Media and Dawi Africa Photography. Many people have asked about the question Morning Glory. I think that skipped me when I was introducing the show. People asking, Bona Morning Glory, just saying that we are redefining actually the meaning of the word Morning Glory. I know there is the Morning Glory la kanisa, kuna ile Morning Glory ingine in quotes, but then this Morning Glory is a very informative Morning Glory. It is a Morning Glory that is here to inform you. It is here to edify you, to educate you, to inspire you, and to make you a better person. And today we have with us Collins, who is a nurse. He's just talking about different things, very basic things that you need to know about your health. And the big question here is Google useful? Because manze, naambiwa Google unaingianga ndani, una Google signs of pregnancy in a man, and it will give you.
Okay, Google is very dangerous, and I can say do that at your own peril. But again, our healthcare system is moving from a patient-centered model. You know, the care now, it may move from the patient, technology is taking, it's ruling the world currently. I can say we need to train people, and we need to find out first, mbona watu wana Google, maybe the access to proper medical care is making them Google. But again, si kitu mbaya. I cannot tell you Kalia, Google hii condition. I had my uncle who was sick way back. I remember when we were in hospital, before apewe medication fulani, amechukua simu, Google. He used to tell me, I knew that I had started the medical school by then, ananiuliza, hii condition hii, kumbe nafaa kupea hii dawa ni ya nini? Yeah. So it took us time. It was a great deal telling him, no, you don't need to Google this. Mpaka daktari akimdunga anasema hii ni dawa gani unanidunga? Yani he knows how to dose it. And by the way, treating a professional is not easy. It's not a walk in the park. Anakujanga na rules zake. Even me nurse, when I want to obtain a medical care from maybe my seniors, kuna seniors wako kwa field yangu. There's a way I want to be treated. I'm not good. Kuna tu venye.
Kuna vitu unajua.
So at some point you find yourself telling him, by the way, I'm a nurse. I'm a medic. And atakwambia pia mimi nafanya hapa because you want to know them. Maybe anaweza chip in kama staff hapo na umjui. So kuna ile preferential treatment anataka. But what I normally say, when you're providing care, please be that healthcare service provider you want your parents to find at the health facility. Yeah.
We'll be going there. We'll be talking about nurses na kiburi yao. Hatujafika hapo. But then there is something I wanted to ask, maybe in connection to Google. Maybe as Google maybe change how patients now, because you've said it is hard to treat professionals, or maybe there is preferential ways in which they prefer to be handled. But then just to ask, maybe in your experience, has Google changed the way patients come to hospital? In the mtu anaingia anakuambia mimi niko na malaria na anakuangalia hivyo. Have you interacted with such cases?
When you tell us you have malaria, we are going to send it to the laboratory. Maybe you are going to take the physical examination. We ask you, why do you think you have malaria? We are so inquisitive. You might be dealing with a medic. Maybe amepima huko akapata akona malaria, and maybe he wants to get the medication from the hospital. So we tell you, why do you say you have malaria? Okay, to talk to my lab, 1212. Yeah. And again, I think we should refer our patients to the right websites. We have something known as the CDC, the journals. We have the websites. even our pages at like Medcall, for example, we give credible information after proper research. We cannot feed the public with, wrong information. We have the website like the Ministry of Health, and also media. I think it's doing a good thing. For example, when COVID-19 struck, you saw what happened. Media really helped us. Like, for example, now we talked about Ebola 2 weeks ago. You can see that the government, in conjunction with the Ministry of Health, they disseminated the information, and now the people can prevent. The spread of the disease. Yeah. So Google, it needs proper
Maybe guidance.
guidance. Yeah, yeah, and do not diagnose, intervene for yourself. Mwingine ana Google, ana diagnose. Intervening is maybe getting the necessary attention. Once ukienda, okay, for example, back there at home, kuna kwanga na sore throat. So kuna hiyo perception, sore throat, we call it strep throat from streptomycin. Is cured by hot ginger, lemon, and maybe asali. Do you know it could be a possible sign of heart disease if not treated?
Okay.
That's what we should tell our people. Yeah.
So ukisikia sore throat kidogo, okay, don't be quick to maybe treat yourself.
Yeah, to treat yourself. Maybe you can hizo dawa, yeah. But kitu important, just go to the hospital. Usijitibu, kuna offer the counter drugs. I know kuna medics outside here who wants to offer our work is to offer the medical care holistically. It doesn't matter where we are. Yeah. Lakini kitu important ni just go to the hospital, get diagnosed, get treated. We plan your care. Now umesikia tuko na from the consultants, the doctors. We have also the half doctors clinical medicine, but they're not half doctors as well. We have the nurses with diploma, they're not half nurses. They do holistic care, even the certificate nurses. They plan hakuna kitu different. What are the medics? Yeah, but sisi nurses, I think, I don't know, maybe the doctors are watching this, but I think nurses will do a lot of work. Yeah. Being with the patient 24/7.
It's not easy.
Yeah, when you talk with somebody who works abroad, anakuambia nimefanya shift jana naingia shift ingine. You can imagine 12 hours. Daktari amekuja tu kidogo, akaongea, akaandika something, and then he goes. Yeah.
Okay, and just to mention is that Collins runs a Facebook page called Medicall. I think he'll help us spell that. It is
MEDCOL. Medcall. You said medical, not medical. Medcall.
Medcall,
Yeah.
actually.
That's when I chose Medcall. Nilijaribu kuweka medical, nikapata majina kama 1000 najiita medical.
Okay.
So I just said Medcall. In Instagram is Medcall RN. Registered nurse, Medcall RN. You're going to see it because most of the time I post something in Instagram and share it in my story, or anyway, you're going to find it. Yeah.
Yeah, so he shares a lot of information there, and if you would want to know more about your health, then you can actually get into Medcall pale Facebook, also Instagram, Medcall RN pale Instagram, na uweze kuzungumza na Collins pale, uweze kumuuliza maswali. I love the way he's very, very generous with the information that we get only in what we say consultation rooms, and so you can talk to Bwana Collins anytime you need to, maybe anytime you have a question. I think they can get into your inbox. But then also, as he has said, it is very important to visit a health center when you feel you are not feeling well. Maybe just talk a little bit about over-the-counter drugs, because there's the issues of maybe people addicted to painkillers and all that. Maybe how should we treat the over-the-counter drugs?
There's no difference between the over-the-counter drugs because they are bought in pharmacies. In chemists. Now, ukienda tena pharmacy hospitali, you're going to get there. And sometimes, our healthcare system for some few years, I don't know, I don't want to politic, but our past regime was a big letdown to our healthcare delivery system. The supplies and everything. You can, for example, Juicy, I saw the governors making impromptu visits in hospitals. They're being harsh to the medical officers. And do you know that the reason sometimes we don't find medicine in the Nini? We can't blame the doctors, by the way. It is the county procurement office that does the procurement of drugs. Alafu siende kwa tires, the community tires. Mpaka dispensaries, mpaka MPRH. They receive drugs, that's a parastatal, that's a big hospital. Lakini, I think the government was a bit let down sometimes, but I really thank God. Our hospital here, MTRH, and some of the private hospitals here, they've been having drugs. Pale nyumbani ni tricky kidogo, and I hope our governor will move in speed and check on that. On the question you asked, maybe I can shed light on over-the-counter drugs. Sometimes maybe you don't get the drug in the hospital. It's advisable you come and buy outside here. And for those who are addicted to painkillers, maybe you should visit the hospital and discuss that with your doctor, or maybe any healthcare provider. Atakupatia, we have contraindication of the side effects of taking the antibiotics and maybe painkillers for quite some time. You may develop some resistance. And treating pain, kuna mtu anakuja chemist. I once worked in a chemist. Anakuja anakwambia, daktari nipatie Zulu. Mimi nashtuka kwanza. Mbona nikupatie Zulu? Kuna pain degree and we have medication, for example paracetamol, Zulu and moving kwenda mbele. Nakwambia mbona those are drugs. Zulu, najua unashangaa. Zulu na morphine.
Zulu is a very powerful. Is that powerful kill or something?
Yeah, tungekuwa na pharmacist hapa angetuambia sana the composition of that drug. I think I understand iko na 3 strains of diseases combined. Yeah. So that's why you find it being strong. So hizi kwambia we have like a lot of drugs, a lot of painkillers. Lakini kuja utuambie you need Zulu, mtashtuka kwanza kidogo. But when he explains kidogo, you explain, because si ati tukitoka hospitali tunatoa brain na tunatoka nje huku. No. It's a lifetime thing.
Okay.
Sasa tukikuuliza, you tell me, somebody got an accident, or somebody has cancer, or this disease. I can easily understand, that person, the degree of pain you can do this. Yeah.
Okay, so...
Yeah, so over-the-counter drugs is there to stay. Chemists are there to stay. But I think they should be operating within the standard measures provided by the government.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Just as he said, avoid over-the-counter drugs unless advised by a doctor, or also just try to explain exactly what you are going through for you to get help. Just as we are coming almost to the tail part of this particular interview, and before I forget, what will niuliza by then nikuuliza kiburi ya nurses inakuwa nini bro? Tunauliza nanga nini?
Kenyans are so funny, eh? They can peddle it and make something look like exactly how they want it to be.
Okay.
And we are not responsible for what they say.
You are responsible for what you do.
We are responsible for what we do. But I think the nurses are the backbone of the hospital. Maybe they are overwhelmed by the work. Many see them like they are rude. But most of them wanalianga pale maternity. But in maternity, when you're told, maternity is pain. It's pain. Na unajua ile perception unapata when you're in pain, it can stick with you. Unarudi unasema, wale manasezi wa wapi? Hapana. Wale manasezi wa ile hospitali? Hapana.
But it's usually wewe ndio uko kwa pain unasumbuka.
But I think our nurses do the best. Our medics do the best. Yeah. So maybe the negative attitude, you can develop a negative attitude. Mimi I grew up knowing that policemen, ukigongana na hawa, noma sana. They can frustrate you till the last surge of energy.
But nowadays you have friends who are policemen.
I'm friends with policemen. These streets, bwana. You have to have friends.
Usiseme tu unakuwa marafiki nao kwa nini?
Hii town ni ndogo.
Is it willingly or unwillingly?
Willingly.
Okay, so because nimesikia mpaka watu wakicompare nurses na watu wa M-Pesa.
Yeah, na wa M-Pesa.
Ukiona nurse, mtu wa M-Pesa na makanga kwa stage wanapelekana hivi.
I once saw it in social media ati kati ya nurses na M-Pesa ladies. Malizeni hiyo nini, alafu turudi kwa malizeni hiyo beef, alafu tuende finals tutafute conductor na nyinyi tuone nani atamaliza.
How does that make you feel as a nurse? Because watu wanaongelea ukija vibaya and all that. And at the end of it all, they come to you again.
They call me a doctor. So as all male nurses to exempted. But when they talk about it, that is my second home. The medical field, the nursing aspect is my second home. It's something that I'm going to do it for a lifetime. So sometimes I feel intimidated. like why, what can it be done? But personally, I think I'm the best nurse. Walai. I think I can do perfectly.
Okay, I think you can say that again.
Yeah.
Collins believes he's the best nurse.
I believe
okay?
I'm the best nurse. I always try to read and find information, even beyond my scope. But what I share, kuna specialists. What I share ni zile vitu I can tackle. When you call me and say, Collins, you talked about something. Can you really expound on that and tell me about the management? Honestly, I can.
Okay.
I will. Yeah. So, sishtuki sana. But you love us. Mtuzoee. Mtatukujia tu and you're going to give the care. Yeah, we're going to give the care.
What do you think can be done to improve maybe the perception of people for nurses? Because, okay, I'm sorry I'm asking you this a lot,
Yeah.
but then it is a serious thing. But I'm sure, okay, talk about your experience with a nurse. If you're watching on the comments, by the way, tuachie, what did a nurse alikufanyia na ukafeel yenyewe? Ai, hapana. Especially at the maternity. Nasikiaga mama anasema, no. Okay, maybe what can be done to improve maybe the relationship between nurses and patients and even the attitude towards nurses?
Honestly, itabidi tu amezoea. Na kitu ingine, what we can do about that?
Itabidi nani amezoea?
Itabidi tu amezoea the patients because I don't think kuna yule nurse anafanya intentionally. I mean, even the hospital, if it truly happens like that, I think the hospital again should move faster. For example, we're teaching at referral hospital because I've had experience there. I used to do my attachments there. I did all my attachments in teaching at referral hospital, by the way. So we have a counseling department. Human as a resource, work on aspects mingi. Find out why. Maybe that nurse akona a lot of what? Akona a lot of stress. Maybe he's battling some psychological problems. Sasa we need to find out how we need to provide the social support. I mean the psychological support. Yeah. Na kama wanafanya intentionally, maybe if they are errant nurses, I mean they should be the hospital should go to them or for them. Yeah. That's negligence. That's not part of our code and ethics of practice. Kuna kitu inaitwa ethical practice. We have a lot of things from the confidentiality. I mean, even confidence of a pregnant mother. We give them the confidence. Alafu kitu ingine tena ni being the advocate, the counselor for the mother. It's rare. Yeah.
Okay, maybe just to read some of these, some of the responses that are coming in. Somebody called Cheptaray Timothy saying most people are misusing antibiotics. There's somebody saying that people Googling symptoms then come with their own diagnosis.
Diagnosis, true. Yeah. So let me talk about that. Cheptaray is a doctor, by the way, and I think he's going to be with you in the next session. He works with us medical. Normally is our editor. Here in daktari is a medical officer. So you can see ni mkubwa wangu in a way. So yeah, people Google come with symptoms kama wamejidiagnose ama wamejitibu, and that's extremely backward. Yeah.
So inakuwa ngumu kufanya kazi.
Yeah, inakuwa ngumu kufanya kazi.
Okay, somebody called Liz Rokesio anasema they do, but we have the worst ones. They can't even listen to you. Okay, I think she's talking about nurses. Okay, but she's also said that you are the best nurse. There is also Judy Chebeta said that he is actually the best nurse, passionate with his career. That is somebody saying, somebody, I think they're referring to you. They're saying that you're quite a good nurse, which is a good report. I'll keep reading your comments, but then just to move on with the show. And we're actually coming almost to the end of this particular broadcast. But then also remember that this show will always be there every Wednesday. So you can shoot questions within the week. We will share the topic early enough for you to maybe ask all the questions you want to ask about that particular topic that we'll be discussing maybe in the next week. But then as we're coming to the end of it, healthcare, you've said, is very expensive in this country, and we have insurances.
Yeah.
Especially, or maybe talk about NHIF.
Yeah. Before we move to NHIF, I've seen you've read a comment there. I know it's very crucial. When you feel you're not treated well, one of the rights of patient is to right to access to proper medical care. When you feel you're not being treated well, I think you can report to the HR. You can report to the social workers. You can as well report to the seniors or maybe administration outside there that maybe you're not receiving the proper care, lakini usitoke pale nje. You can as well talk to the organogram of the hospital. You ask kwa CEO ni wapi, kwa director ni wapi, director of nursing services, kwa MO ni wapi, or you can as well talk to anybody. Any medic ukimwona, you can notice one. Just call him, mwambie, hey manzeni, kama I'm not being treated well, even na hivi, this nurse is doing this and this, you will be apprehended. Na kama ni kitu anafanya na upuzi, we don't allow that in our field.
Okay.
Honestly. Yeah.
And maybe just okay, I know that is easy to say, but then unajua si tukiwa wadogo kulikuwa na kufungiana shule. Na sasa hizi kufungia shule. What makes them asikufungie shule? Okay, that manner, what makes them asifike mahali labda because you see once you report them and you're still in the same hospital, maybe is there a possibility of saying I want maybe nibadilishiwe nurse? Is there such a provision?
Yeah. We have, as I've said, kuna rights of a patient to care. That's the first right. Kuna right to proper care again. Si ati ni care hivi hivi. Alafu tu kuna right again akatae medication. Daktari na hii mgonjwa akisema I'm not going to receive this medication, we are not going to force you. Lakini kama ni important, my friend, tutaitana from all organograms, from the MO, from the consultant, why are you not doing this? That's where the family comes in. That's where the social worker comes in. We try to intervene. Yeah. So you have the right to kukata, to refuse care.
Okay.
Yes. It is at your disposal. Yeah. But lakini mtu mgonjwa, but you know people are battling a lot of issues. Ukiona mtu anakataa care, diki ni vizuri, lazima kuna issue.
Kuna shida mahali.
Maybe anahitaji the counseling. Yeah. So that's our work. We have counselors at hospital. I forgot to mention that. It is a great body. Yeah, they work with the mental health department, and they are in every department. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just to read more comments before we talk about insurances, there's somebody called Max Eugene. He's a friend of mine. He's saying we have good nurses in the field. Actually, if you need the best care from them, only you need to cooperate with them, and they'll be so nice to you. The problem is that some patients want to harass the nurse. Sometimes you expect them to treat you well. Be nice to the nurses too.
In regard to what Max have said, it's true. Sometimes you get rude patients, and it's not good. Do you know it's punishable?
Okay, it's punishable to be rude to
yes,
a nurse. Okay,
it's punishable to be rude to a nurse. We have the security team in hospital. You find someone, he wants to fight a nurse. I once got an experience way back there. There was an old papa. He never wanted to get medications. Sasa, when I was attending to a patient, the next bedside, he shoved me so hard, akaniskuma. You know, I had to report to the authorities so that they can handle that. It's not allowed. Harassing medical officer while okay, sisi tukifanya anything contrary, we're being apprehended. But when you come to hospital, you are not an exception. An exception. Maybe you boss around and
so
maybe,
the law applies to everyone.
The law applies to everyone. Yeah, it's not allowed kabisa. And when you find these hospitals like Aga Khan, they really value their human as a resource. You cannot bully the nurse around. You cannot bully the doctor around. Kazi yako tu ni kutulia, and then they plan for your care. Yeah.
Okay, somebody called Keivo Eito says you should talk about something to do with mental health. I think Keivo, as we promised, maybe today we may not get into specifics, but be tuning into the show because we have a lot of topics lined up for you. We have other medical practitioners who will be coming here. We have psychiatrists, we have counselors, we have doctors who will be coming on the show. So keep it here and you'll get a lot of information. Maybe just today we are trying to introduce the show and also trying to just set the beacons over what the scope of the show will be. Somebody called Patrick Kiptoa saying following Terkir, quite a mouthful. Teriki Gabriela says following. And then there is somebody called Philomena Kathomi also saying they're following. Thank you so much. Somebody called Kimberly Hasiala. Hey, that's a friend of mine.
Wow.
Hasiala, I love the name.
Say hi when you go back there.
Ameka ile emoji ya kufanya hivi. Anasema fine, thank you. There is also Cheptare just still congratulating what you do, saying that you really educate a lot of people.
Thank you so much.
So keep the comments coming. Keep talking to us. Somebody called Shadik Mtai saying that Simathwa Boys High School family is proud.
Wow. Thank you so much, Shadik. Yeah.
Hey, ulisoma shule inaitwa Simathwa. Where is
Simathwa,
that?
that's good. I know it's a very small school, outside there, but I know many of people, many of my classmates are watching me outside here, and I was a little boy when I meet with them outside here. Huwa wananiambianga hii mwili ulitoa wapi? Ulikula nini? Kuna
used to
mwingine
be
aliniambia
tiny.
ama unakula wagonjwa. Unakula patients. Nikamwambia para veterinaries are the only medical, I mean medical practitioners wenye wanakula
It's the
wagonjwa.
class.
Literally meat. Si ile kukula ingine unajua. Yeah.
Okay, somebody else, what are other people saying? I've seen another comment come in. Let me just sample it for you. There's somebody called Kevin Kogei saying following. There's somebody called, I think I'm losing it, but then I'll get back to your comment. I'd seen it, but then it's disappeared. Keep the comments coming in. Keep the comments coming in. We had promised to maybe talk something a little bit about insurances. We may not talk much about the private insurers because we may not want to maybe mention, we are not here to market anyone. We're just talking generally about insurances. So maybe we'll to dwell more in the national insurer, that is NHIF, and maybe in your own perspective, what should patients know about it?
Oh yeah, thank you so much for those who are watching. The insurance, the National Hospital Insurance Fund, in a section of money that you pay to that insurance firm, like 500 bob. By the way, insurance, I mean, NHIF is the list of the things one should have. We are only one hospital admission away to being bankrupt. Let me tell you. For example,
I
if
think
I
that
get
is
sick,
quite thick.
Yeah.
He said that you, who is watching, is one admission away from being bankrupt.
yeah,
And if you're bankrupt, that means then maybe it's something else. Okay?
yeah. So I really had, if it's possible, at least sisi watu wenye tumejua, we can as well pay the NHIV. Me, my NHIV is active, and it is up. I hope yours is active.
I think mine is active, but I need to check actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
So another thing what I wanted to tell you is that kuna pale old folks pale nyumbani. You know, those people, sometimes they don't access medical care. Now, you know, there are a lot of diseases associated with old age. You ndio naweza advice if possible. But I think the bottom-up government, Ruto's government, talked about enhancing the National Hospital Insurance Fund. I think they're going to overlook how maybe above 60 or maybe 55 people who are not employed get access to free medical services from the hospital insurance fund. Italipia wa NHIF. That's something I heard, if I'm not wrong. And I think also the county government, they can see a way maybe how they can implement that to work maybe in hospitals down here. About the National Hospital Insurance Fund, you pay 500 shillings monthly and you get access to almost all medical inquiries. If you want to get any test, they do it. If you want to get any radiology, any physiotherapy services, optical services, orthopedic, any, you will get. It's not limited to any medical care. You can imagine you've been admitted to an hospital. Alafu hauna NHIF, daily bed ni 1,500 shillings. Minus the medication and the food. Hiyo chakula unakula hospitali sio free, and we don't accept food from outside. Yeah, I'm talking from the perspective of these hospitals that normally admit. The outpatient services, you can use a lot of money. Let me tell you, I've once treated someone mwenye ako na NHIF that is in a private institution. Man, alitumia a lot of money, up to 20,000. Ungekuwa ni NHIF ingecover consultation, something hivyo hivyo, if they don't have that drugs. But I think another big letdown with the National Hospital Insurance Fund, or maybe the hospital in general, someone has NHIF, but ikifika medication, sometimes hawana hiyo drug, a patient is forced to go and buy outside, and they're not being compensated. Maybe I know some get compensated, lakini wengine hawezi fuata. So if they have failed the medications for proper medical care, the medical insurance fund is active. Medical care itakuwa very easy.
And actually, let's hope that we'll get drugs in our hospitals, because it is, I think the biggest challenge with NHIF is that you have it. The other day we had a lot of issues with approvals. I don't know, they were saying system yao ilikuwa inafanya nini na ile. And it is very important that once you have the NHIF also, you can be treated well, because also you find out that maybe private hospitals
are reluctant to admit some services or to use to allow the patient access some services using NHIF because of approval issues, and I think that is an issue that we really need to correct. I think NHIF really needs to work on that so that we are able to at least get better and quality healthcare, and also we can be able to convince more people to get into NHIF. I have a friend of mine who told me this, that mimi ukiniita harambee ya kuchangisha mambo ya hospitali, the first thing I ask is kama kuna NHIF.
Yes.
If there is no NHIF, I'll not come.
Yeah,
Because actually everyone, I think we should make this clear. We're giving it a lot of airtime. Get yourself the national insurance, that is the NHIF. Hakikisha tu uko nayo. It has a lot of issues. We are praying that a lot of them get handled maybe by the new administration. But first of all, make sure, because in case of anything, that is the first thing that comes in to save you. Collins, just going forward. Now let's talk about COVID-19.
yeah.
It affected how hospitals operate. Maybe first of all, in your own experience, how was that period? Because right now, okay, maybe COVID is still with us, but then we've learned to adapt and live with it better. But then talk about your 2020, your early 2020.
First of all, about the NHIF and the insurances that you said earlier, maybe we'll look for someone who's going to debunk that. I have a friend who works here. She's called Miriam. Na huwa nampigia, we, hii NHIF inaweza kuwa inafanya hapa. So NHIF is available to all its members. You see? And the individual, I mean, not even individual, let me say it's available to all its members and all the dependents accredited by the NHIF hospitals. Si hospitali zote zinakubali NHIF, by the way. Ama kuna zile ma insurances. I'll not talk about insurances, but I think you choose one that is affordable. You choose the one that it doesn't provide individual health plan. You plan for the family kidogo. Unaelewa hapo? Yeah. So about the COVID-19. When the COVID-19 ilifika, corona was something hectic. I thought hatutamaliza 2020. Yeah. Personally,
Hata mimi nilikuwa nimejua
imeenda.
nilianza kula savings.
Ulikuwa umejua utanyuria. Sasa about COVID-19. In fact, I lost a family member, not even one, two family members to COVID-19. It was a real tragedy. Let me tell you about COVID-19. You know, controlling and mitigating the spread, spread and rate of infection, it really needs, it was overwhelming. To keep focus, and you know, I knew a lot of nurses. For example, when COVID-19 came, unaenda leo kesho unaambiwa somebody dropped dead. Somebody kuna post-COVID effects mpaka sahi. It really affected us because the psychological well-being was not well, because we were not okay. It was not rosy. You can imagine losing medics in the line of work. Another thing, being overwhelmed and losing focus from the other ailments like HIV and AIDS, tuberculosis, malaria, because you're not trying to fight what do we call it? It was a pandemic. It was a global pandemic. Na unajua, also, COVID-19, it impacted on the economics, in the economical lives. You know, somebody comes to the hospital and nakwambia daktari kimeumana, huko nje hakuna pesa, nitibu nienda nyumbani. So you can see how the hospital was, how the hospital was overwhelmed with the mitigation, to control the spread of COVID-19. Another thing, assessing the supplies. Before COVID, let me tell you something. We used not to put on face masks unless when doing our own dressing of a very, let me say, a pungent, or what do you say, pungian or pungent, or very pungent own.
Let me use smelly because
smelly. Yeah, that's the first. Sasa, those days, bro, hatuko tunavaa mask. But when after COVID, nakutana na wewe unaitwanga nani?
So there was the social aspect of
social aspect again. Yeah, we used not to talk. Yeah, you report to your workplace, unaenda, and many people ilileta nini, by the way. Okay, in the supplies part, ili overwhelm the government. Sometimes you find MPRH wako na gloves pair moja the clean gloves. We have gloves. We have, for example, the surgical and the clean gloves. Ungewapata wako na clean gloves. Ama the next week wako na surgical gloves. That is misusing them because kama uko na surgical gloves, you need to put on like 2 to handle the patient. Kama ni clean gloves, unavaa like 4 during COVID-19. So I think it'll impact maneno ya
So
supplies
there was
again.
a lot of wastage.
Yeah,
There was a lot
wastage
of,
and the government was really struggling to contain the disease. Yeah. And
And, do you think there are lessons that one, the government, and two, the medical practitioners learned from the COVID-19? Then also maybe in addition to that, how has it now changed the way hospitals operate?
it has really changed the way the hospital operates. Do you remember before COVID, we used to have a lot of homa. Lakini venye tulianza kuvaa mask, there was a sharp decline. I mean, cases za hizi ma respiratory infections or anything zilienda chini kidogo. Yeah. And from that time, I think tuko sharp kidogo. How we life before COVID and after COVID imechange kidogo. How we handle cases in hospital, siku hizi COVID is here with us, but and it's still there. People should wear mask, lakini kumbe I'm not the CS, sorry. Kumbe mimi sio.
Unakumbukaga-
Who's the CS of?
I remember this. Allow me to say this. That, there's something the outgoing CS for health said, and I need to say this. I'm forgetting it.
Yeah.
He said something about if you don't take it seriously,
If
it
we
will take
continue.
you seriously. If you continue.
Yeah. So, ili change perception ya medical field. Ili change the level, I mean, how to practice, levels of practice, and sahi tuko ready. And again, I think our country is politicking a lot. They politicize that thing. You heard about the cancer scandals, about yani, everything was in disarray. Kabisa. Like even you'd find a place like MTRH walikuwa na very few ventilators, and they've given us like 600 billion to caution us from COVID. So I think it'll change our perception, and I think the government is ready, and I really hope hii government yenye imeingia it's going to do wonders in medical care. Nataka irudishe healthcare delivery kama kitambo. Of course kitambo kidogo kuna venye, lakini it was worse for the past 2 years. Assessing healthcare was tough,
Okay.
hectic. Yeah.
And of the supplies, maybe are we seeing some normalcy or?
Now everything is now creeping back to normalcy. We are now going back to the normal. Yeah, things are well now. I trust things are well. Yeah.
Okay, just to go through a few more comments that are coming in. Somebody called Baynard B is saying, "Ma'am, bet."
He's my guy.
So,
Yeah.
Timothy once again is saying, "Nice conversation, keep it up." Somebody called CK Maroon. Do you know that guy?
I know CK Maroon.
Okay, so the way from Elgeyo Marakwet is saying that last time I went to a hospital and my patient was told NHIF haifanyi. Okay, yeah, we've said that first of all kuwa nayo, then we'll see how to fix the other things. I'll
Yeah.
be part of the solution. You be part of the solution.
About NHIF, you need to pay, let me say, without failing every month. Ukilipa every month without failing, sidhani kama utaambiwa ifanye.
I think it has had issues some 2 weeks. Kuna wakati by the way, I think
yeah.
last month where everyone had issues with the
Yeah.
with NHIF. But as we've said, is Collins will be part of the solution. I'll be
Yeah.
part of the solution. You'll be part of the solution. But the first solution that we need is to make sure that you've actually paid for that particular insurance. Somebody else called Linda Cheruta says, Msikalia, ambia daktari tunashukuru kwa hizo classes ametupea for free.
Thank you so much,
somebody
Linda.
is thanking you.
Yeah.
Then somebody else is saying, there's case you're saying, but again, the comprehensive NHIF is the one that help. Here to normal is zero na useless unless you're admitted.
Not actually comprehensive. I think it's only, that's where the health insurance comes in. Yeah, it's not actually comprehensive as such, lakini you'll have to pay some money kidogo. Utaongeza kidogo. We have the Britam, we have the Afya Family Medicare. Kuna NHIF na kuna insurance. I am not
I
getting
think I've ever seen something like NHIF and NHIF super cover.
super cover. Exactly. That's how it is stratified. I mean to cushion you from exorbitant hospital, I mean expenses, yeah, from the insurances. I don't have the information as such, but I'm going to call Miriam after this show. Maybe she's
Okay.
going to come next time.
Miriam is tuned in, by the way. You'll be
Somebody
coming
should
here
tell
soon
her,
to
Miriam,
just
not
tell us things about
Yeah.
things to do with insurance. As we
Yeah.
say, today we're just tackling two bits. We're just making sure that this thing is balanced.
Yeah.
That jamaa watu wanakuwa sawa. But then remember this, that when time comes, we'll be here to fully discuss these issues and make sure that you get the best out of these particular discussions. As we said, Morning Glory is here to make sure that you are edified. Morning Glory is here to make sure that your life becomes better. Medical on Facebook is here to just make sure that you are healthier. And so with this partnership, with this friendship, with such kind of conversations, be sure that you'll get better, or you'll be getting your life will get better. I think the other I'm losing a comment here, but we'll get back to reading it. I don't know if I can still find it.
So about medical, it's an idea. I have a friend known as Stacy. She's the brainchild of medical. I have also a friend known as Ombui Masharia. She's also the brainchild of this. And some of my friends.
I think you need to bring me the team, right?
I'm going to bring you the team. They actually designed the logo, told me I should get a Facebook page, a professional one, because my account sometimes posts zinaweza wapita. But if you mark it as favorite, as a professional, they are going to follow the teachings later. We don't offer any medical service right now, but we refer you
To the right place.
to the right place. When you come, you talk to me, you say, you kona hii issue hivi, I'll listen to you, and then I'll refer you accordingly. But the features of medical is so bright. We are on final stages of registering it. I think by end of this month, we'll have registered it. Maybe one day it will be a big medical institution providing holistic care. Yeah.
Telling you, we are liking it already. Manze, all the best as you bring up.
Thank you so
medical.
much.
I think that is I think if you've visited the page, you've seen how serious it is. There are a lot of information that haungewahi pata kwingine, but when you go to that page, you get it. There is information that you'll pay for in consultation rooms that you'll find on that page. So
Ama
go
waanze
follow
kutuma?
medical.
Ama waanze kutuma?
Acha tu. Tuanze toward. So I'll just read more comments here. There's somebody called Teams Tor saying, Daktari, you're doing a good job.
Tims is a good guy.
Okay.
He's a nurse.
There's somebody called Kiptor Mirmet, also a partner on this show, and also he will be coming in on Friday for sports. He's a sports enthusiast. Saying, so proud. Good to see you guys this morning. There's somebody called Sheila Cherop saying, I'm personally a victim of paying a hefty bill because I didn't have NHIF cover.
wow.
And I was no longer under my parents. Yeah, actually, that is crazy. I think there was a time also to be rushed in for an emergency surgery. It was, I think, something to do with the appendix. And NHIF came in big time. I remember, I think I paid only 3,000.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then also.
So you should be an NHIV advocate.
Yeah,
you need to tell people they should get
It
that.
came in big time. Sikuamini.
I'll give you a title, Daktari.
Bring other time on the show. They should be sponsors here.
I
Because
know.
wako na budget ya marketing, si ndio?
True.
Wailete kwa hii show bana, tufanye maneno, si ndio?
Yeah.
And there's somebody else called, Kesio once again saying, Kalia, I have my NHIF, but I have never used it since my specialist I see either use comprehensive NHIF, insurance, ama cash again. I remember going to hospital, like referral, being told to go to rooms, sijui ngapi, 55, 37. Remember that these rooms are meters away. Actually, okay, we need to talk about that.
Liz is impatient or impatient. I think impatient is the right term. Sorry. She's not patient. Yeah. Ukiambiwa enda room what?
Room 55.
Kimbia. Iko room 35 pale.
Referral ban hata mimi
You're going to be
mpaka
assisted.
nikasikia nakuwa mgonjwa zaidi.
You're going to get assistance there. Yeah. So
Do you
I think
patients-
alikuwa impatient.
or should we be coming with caregivers even if you are coming for even if you are coming for maybe what should not be I would say what we don't expect to be admitted for or something.
Kindly reframe that question.
Okay, what I'm saying is should we be coming with caregivers even when we are not being admitted?
It's not. Okay, since COVID came, ni ngumu sana ukuje ukae na mtu hospitali. We trying to huyo mtu mwenye anakuja kukuchunga the caregiver, we normally call tunasemanga uko na nani, haikubaliki sana because they collect the infections outside the ear, they come to the hospitals, ama waitoe waipeleke society. So caregiving in an hospital, these serious hospitals, even the private hospitals, I had an experience way back like 2 months ago with Aga Khan Hospital. We were admitted there. Hawakubali caregiver, hawakubali ukuwe na mtu wa kukuchunga because they want to prevent that cross infection. Yeah.
So, okay, I agree to that extent that we should not have caregivers. But then our public institutions are there right now. You find, I've had an experience. I had nobody giving me care. I think I was far away from home. I will not mention the hospital, maybe to protect it. I'm supposed to clear with the hospital.
Do not mention it.
I'm very sick. Okay, I'm not sick. Washaniruhusu niwe nyumbani.
Yes.
Nobody is helping me to clear. And then mtu anakutuma anakwambia enda kwa room. Ukiangalia zile mita ziko, you're going very far.
Ulikuwa unataka kuishi hospitali?
No. Anyway, there's something that needs to be done there.
I know.
Because, yeah.
But it's different departments. Huwezi expect to work in a NHIF office place kama casualty ama to work a place. It's in a stratified position. Since it's a unified office, we are going to have it maybe at a certain location. Na si ati unaenda kila mara. Ukitaka kuwa discharged, for example, unatafuta mtu anaenda kufanya hiyo discharge. Unaelewa? You're not going to do it alone. Yeah, it's just a day thing. Si kitu yenye utazunguka kila siku atikuja kesho. NHIF are not doctors. They're just insurance firm. So, unless you want to pay money. Yeah, so it's patience, persistence, and it's a process of discharge.
I'll summarize it this way. Haijai kwa rahisi.
Haijai kwa rahisi. Okay, maybe they'll improve that. Yeah. Maybe one day I'll be the CS and I'll see what to do concerning that.
There is an interesting comment that I want to read, but before I read it, okay, I'll a little bit away from health. Somebody has asked a very interesting question. Somebody said that your friend is called Kimuge, saying he's a very old friend of yours.
Frederick Kimuge?
Yeah.
I know Frederick Kimuge very well.
And Frederick amesema,
he's a photographer.
Amesema na deal na dynasty hapa na sijui.
Frederick Kimuge, I knew Frederick Kimuge almost how many years ago? He was a photographer. Yeah, nilikuwa bado pale juu. Sasa kuna time nimeteremka nikampata, get crash, nikaingia sherehe fulani ilikuwa fellowship na nikamwambia nipige picha. And he took my number, baadaye akanitumia. Then that's why we knew each other. Lakini tulipoteleana. It's not 3 years.
Wacha kwa this story. I'm told like wewe ni kama already kwa president, eh? I'm told you're in-laws with the president.
In-laws with the president. Okay. Maybe I'll talk about that next time when I come to this show.
Anyway, that was on a lighter note anyway.
So they want to call me the son-in-law, eh?
Yeah.
His Excellency the son-in-law.
So His Excellency the son-in-law. So maybe I just do the introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, with us today, mabibi na mabwana is the son-in-law, His Excellency the son-in-law. Anyway, as I promised you, this show will be a laughing show, but then also we are keen enough to tackle issues that really affect your day in, day out life. And so, just as we are almost ending this show, right? What are those things, maybe that we've not mentioned, about how somebody should take care of their health? Maybe there's the physical aspect, so there's a fitness and all that. There's a lot of anxiety with weight and all that. Maybe just say something about it.
About the weight, tuko na kitu inaitwa body mass index. It's good you visit the hospital, get in touch with the nutritionist, because hao ndio wanajua maneno ya obesity sana, and to do with weight, I think there's a standard weight for someone who has mwenye ako na kimo fulani, certain height. Again, to do with physical, I think keeping fit is healthy. Nutrition aspect of it. At least when you eat good food, good mood, good healthy. Yeah, the social support. Toka pale nje bana, you socialize. Usinyamaze sana. In fact, when I came to this show, I never thought I'm going to speak. This is my first maiden show. I've never done it. Even going live in Facebook sometimes, I don't know. Maybe phobia camera inaitwa nini? I love camera.
Camera phobic. I think you should be
motionless.
knowing it better.
But videos, I mean, maybe talking in front of cameras, ni ngori kidogo.
Okay.
But I mean, the social well-being, you need to socialize, be with people. Yeah.
Okay. Just to read more comments before we reach before I ask you for your parting shot.
Yeah.
And before the parting shot, I still have one more interesting question.
Yeah.
Because people seem to know you, apart from being a doctor, wanakujua zaidi ya hapo. Anyway, there's somebody called Ian Sang. He's saying that he's following from Ganaton, Copperbelt region in Zambia.
Oh, wow.
Pass my regards to Collins. Ian Sang watching all the way from Zambia.
Oh, Ian.
Alafu wewe uko hapa Eldoret na
Ian Sang nilisoma na yeye high school. But he's now a priest. I'm so happy
he's a
for him.
priest,
He's
okay.
a priest. I
Catholic
think
priest or
Catholic
Catholic
priest,
priest?
yeah. He's doing the 5th year in priesthood. I'm very happy for him. He's a good friend. Hi. And
Okay.
cheers, Ian.
Somebody called Shadiki Mtai anasema I come in peace. Ongelea story na kunyonga. What is the long-term effects?
It is not scientific. I mean, it is not scientific evidence.
But first of all, maybe kuna watu wajui kunyonga ni nini. Kunyonga ni mtu kuchukua sheria mikononi.
Yeah. That's the thing.
Okay, so actually the best time to use it is saying masturbation, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think masturbation hakuna ile scientific research imefanywa wakasema it causes the I mean anything to do with the sexual health. But I think going forward, those professors at Harvard University,
Yeah.
or maybe me, or anywhere in this world, they're going to come up with. We have a lot of. It's still controversial. We have a lot of conflicting, maybe hypotheses about the same. So I choose not to talk about it, but it's not healthy.
It's not healthy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Amerix anajua vizuri. Watembee kwa Amerix waambiwe. I think Amerix ndio msema kweli.
So what informs this? Because okay, is it unhealthy? Okay, is it does it affect somebody mentally?
It affects one mentally. Yeah. Personally, what I've read, ukisikia
Kuna
maneno-
kwenye personally. Nimekuwa hapo kwa
Yeah.
miaka mbili.
Yo, you know, it creates an image but you know, sometimes it's so funny. How can someone create an image in the head? Now find pleasure. It's so funny. I'm not trying to imagine how that happens. That shows it clearly affects maneno ya dopamine kwa akili na kina serotonin. It really affects because utapata hiyo nini. What if your mind you catch up with that hack. I mean, that action of that. You'll have problems again, maybe maintaining an erection or maybe during, yeah.
Okay. I'm saying now he's really mincing in word about the topic. Maybe next time we'll bring him just to talk about that.
Yeah.
And as we are going to the tail part of this particular broadcast, I know I've said this so many times, but it gets interesting, ladies and gentlemen. It keeps getting interesting, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so Collins, you'll be a regular panelist.
Yeah.
On this particular show.
Thank you
Just
for such
tell
an honor.
our audience what they should actually expect from you.
We are going to tackle the common ailments that we normally experience in day-to-day lives. We are going to talk about health living. I'm going to refer you specifically to the right doctors for what you're going through. I mean, the disease you're having. And again, when I talk about health living, si kitu yenye ni rahisi. It's a full-time commitment. So that's what I'm going to provide. Anything about healthcare, I'm going to give you the information. You just follow my Facebook page at Medical, and it's a mustard seed. Something big is coming, and I promise I'm going to be consistent. Yeah, sometimes I'm very busy. You know, some people are normally seeing me active in that page. Si sana. I always schedule the posts. Na schedule for like after 2 hours. Even when I'm offline, you get the. But I have a team. Ukiona kwa comment section, if you're using updated Facebook, unaona somebody responded to this. I have like a team of 4 people who are editors in that page. Yeah.
Okay. To read more comments just before we exit, there's somebody called Angela Moperan Kunzi, tremendously good work. Keep it up, Karim Sikalia and Bor Kipchirchir Collins. There's somebody called Asbel Kemboy saying they're following. Albert Koche.
Yeah.
I think you should know Albert.
Albert is my schoolmate, but
Alikuwa mbele.
si kumpata.
Oh.
Si kumpata, but nilifika wanasemanga no, karibuni tumie methali mbaya, like it's not appropriate for that, but nilifika wakisema there was somebody known as Koche. He was a prefect, something of the sort. He's a good man. He's doing good outside here. Yeah.
So
Koche
ni kama akona CV mzuri sana bana. And I think he's actually vying for EMC Senate.
Yeah.
We were talking about that yesterday. Maybe we need to bring you for politics also one
Oh.
day.
Oh, politics
You seem to love
kidogo. No.
politics a little bit,
I'm going to drop that mic.
Okay.
About politics kidogo tricky.
Unaogopa kiasi.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Koche is saying this is it now, man. Let wisdom fill the airwaves. I support this initiative fully. Thank you so much. That's a big endorsement.
Thank you so much.
Albert Koche. He'll be coming to the show very soon just to share his experiences. This is a man who's experienced wide and large. I think he's been a speaker of Elgeyo Marakwet County before. The man has, I think I also seen him, I think he was one of those who put up together Chama Mashinani.
True.
And then right now he's I think on UDA, he'll be there to just clarify his political journey and talk about it. There's also somebody called Ben Kitun saying Dawi Afrique Photography and Safari's staff. Okay, I think he's just congratulating Dawi Afrique for what they do. With that, I think we are almost finishing this up. But then just to remind you is that this show will be coming to you every 7:30 to 9 a.m. from Monday to Friday. And Wednesday is specifically for your health. And so each and every time, tune in every Wednesday to talk matters health. Just to mention the other segments, Monday, we have Expert Monday, just inviting experts from different spheres of life to talk about different aspects of it. Tuesday, politics and governance. Wednesday, already we've said health. Thursday, we talk about family. So tomorrow, we're talking about family and relationship. We'll be having a very interesting panelist talking about family and relationship. That is a day we've just dedicated to how we should relate as a family and even from person to person. Topics like where are we seeing so many separations and divorce, and just guiding ourselves through the family units. Friday ni siku ya happy, siku ya starehe. We'll be having a DJ on the set. We'll be having a lot of entertainment and sports being talked about. Maybe unless you have anything else to say, just before you give it back to me, then I think. Yeah.
I really want to thank the Dawi Afrique, the very nice media, for partnering with me, Collins from Medical. You know, a health nation is a working nation. Let us discover the wellness. Let us walk the journey together. And katafunguka tu. Thank you so much for watching me. And we are going to interact more. You visit the medical page. Now in inbox, you just inbox medical. I'm going to see your question. I'm going to, if there's a topic you want us to tackle, I know how we can schedule that. Pole pole tu, mpaka tumalize. Yeah, thank you so much.
Asante sana Collins for coming to the show. To all the viewers, those who've commented, those who've given us insights in one way or the other, thank you so much. Asanteni sana, tunashukuru. It is not normal that you wake up in the morning and start watching the Morning Glory Show, but we promised you nothing but the best in each and every of the segments. My name is Koech Kalia.